Well, hi everybody. So good to see you today. We are going to talk about the lies you're believing about your life's purpose. This is one of my favorite things to talk about. I feel like I've been through enough junk in my life that I have a really good understanding of this because I've screwed it up so many times. So if you're kind of like in this weird place where you're confused about what you're supposed to be doing, are just unsure in a million different ways, this is really, really going to help you. I bet you're believing one of these lies. So we are going to talk all about purpose today. If this is my first time meeting you, I want to say hi and thank you for joining and welcome to Life and Grace. I'm Dr. Edie Wadsworth. I am an author, speaker, life coach, health coach. I love helping women get unstuck and create the life they want. I'm also the founder of Life Mentoring School, which is closed right now, but stay tuned because we are going to have something fun at the end of the month for that. Hi everybody. So good to see you. I'm glad you're joining. So give me a 1 in the comments below if you are currently struggling with something like this. You're not sure what you want to be doing right now. You're not sure if what you're doing matters right now. You feel a little lost, a little aimless. You have no idea even what you want to want. So give me a 1 in the comments if that describes you. This is for you. And I want you to really lean in and pay attention and be encouraged. So I'd also be so honored if you shared out this video. That is how other people find us and can be encouraged by the teaching here. And I'm telling you what, we live in a crazy world full of all kinds of bad news and full of all kinds of negativity, and people need some encouragement. So we are offering encouragement and hope today. So I'm so grateful you're here. So thank you. Share this video out with your family and friends, and thanks for being here. So the first lie you're believing about your purpose is that you don't know what it is. How many of you are believing that lie? I don't even know. I don't even know what I want it to be. I don't even know what I want. I don't even know. Should I have goals? I have no idea. How many of you feel like that describes you? So many people, so many of my clients and students, and even so many of my friends that I talk to feel this way. They're like, how do you know what you want? Like, you seem to have such clear direction about, where you're going and what you want. I don't even know. I want to want something. I don't even want anything. I just want to want something. And I think that this might be the biggest lie there is, because we have gotten to the point where we don't even really trust ourselves. We're like, I don't even know. How do I know? How do I find it? And we don't have this sense that we do know. Of course we know. Of course you know. Of course you know. First of all, let me remind you that God made you for a purpose. And you don't have to actually do anything for that to be true. He made you with meaning and value and for a purpose, and He loves you. And that, my friends, is enough. Now, I know that you think, well, I know all that, but that doesn't really answer the question. Well, keep listening, because it actually does answer the question. Because once you stop searching for your purpose and oh my gosh, or once you stop believing that you don't really have one, or you don't know what it is, or you're confused about it, or whatever, once you stop believing that and you start believing that He loves you and He made you for a reason, it changes things. You stop looking for it everywhere else. I say this all the time when I talk about this topic, but this is true. Living your purpose, finding your purpose, I don't really like the term finding your purpose, is an inside job. Nobody else can give it to you. No job can give it to you. Jobs are terrible at giving it to you. Your family's terrible at giving it to you because you already have it. And I want you to begin really believing that. I want you to really believe that everything about the meaning and purpose of your life was already given to you by God when he created you. You can't be more purposeful or more meaningful or have more of any of that than he already gave you. That tank, my friends, is full. But the reason you don't believe that is because you have a misguided, just like I did, kind of a misguided understanding of what it actually is and what it actually means. We're going to talk about that, as we go through the other two. But I just want you, first of all, to know that, first of all, God did all the work. He created you. You're fearfully and wonderfully made. He created you so unique. He loves you. And his purposes are alive in you. They're alive and well. And just because you don't recognize that doesn't mean it's not true. So sometimes I feel like we need this sigh of relief to go, oh, I'm already doing it. Like, it's already here. It's already given to me. I'm already living it. Because then from that place, we actually can begin to explore, all the other things that are true about calling and vocation and how God made you special and how he has these gifts that he wants you to use and all of that. But I think you have to start from this place of going, this is an inside job that he bestows upon me, that he gives me, that I get to wake up and recognize. And most of us aren't living as if we believe that's true. We're not living as if we recognize what he already has given us. It's this amazing, incredible, beautiful gift. And we don't even know it's there, so we don't acknowledge it. We don't access it. We're not thankful for it. We don't utilize it. And when you become more aware of what he's already given you, magic starts to happen, because then you're not striving and grasping, trying to do something, to be more purposeful. You can't do that. He's already given you all the value and all the meaning and all the purpose that you will ever have. It's already there. Isn't that such good news? You don't have to find it. You just have to start living it. Living as if. You just have to say, oh, it's already here. I've already been given all that I'm going to be given. So cool. It's such a cool realization. And I think a lot of us are, it makes us, when we believe the other way, when we believe the lie that we don't know what it is, or we don't have one, or we're still trying to figure it out, or we don't even know what we want. When we believe that lie, the way you live that out is you live unsure and full of doubt and you don't know. But when you live as if you are valued and loved and adored and full of purpose and full of meaning, and what you're doing matters, what you're already doing matters, that changes everything. And so I want to encourage you, stop saying to yourself that you don't know what it is or that you don't have one. Stop saying that, because that is not true, and it dishonors the gift that God has placed inside you, that he gave you. You're dishonoring his purposes in your life that are already there. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay, so that's lie number one. Lie number two is, well, mine's not as important as such and such. Well, all I do is, or all I was put here for was just to be a mom, or all I'm whatever is, I'm in this season where I'm just taking care of my elderly parents, and I'm just not sure what what my purpose is. I'm just in this season of life where my kids just left for college, so I'm not sure of myself anymore, and who knows what I was supposed to be doing or whatever. And we get in this place where we start looking at everybody else and saying, oh, now she's got a purpose. Now she was made for something. You see that one right there? She's really got it going on. And we start comparing ourselves. And I'm telling you, that's the most toxic thing you can do, because when you do that, not only does that often cause us to despise the gift of God in someone else, it causes us to despise it in ourselves. To think that we're less than, to think that whatever we're doing is not as important, to think that, whatever we're doing doesn't matter, doesn't have meaning, doesn't have purpose. And I want to remind you that that is a lie. That is a big, fat, juicy lie. And that lie will keep you from actually living as if You have this amazing gift that God has given you that you share with the world. It will keep you stuck. It will keep you. The other thing that I see that happens with this is it often leads us to this weird place of judgment where we're just so judgmental of everybody else, and we're like, oh, and we're so critical and so negative. And the thing that will kill your purpose and your meaning, your sense of meaning and sense of purpose faster than anything, is comparing yourself to somebody else and assuming that whatever she's doing is better than what you're doing, or whatever job she's been given to do, or whatever vocation or calling she's been given to do is better. It isn't better. And we all go through different stages. I remember the time in my life when I was homeschooling my girls. It kind of reminded me, I used to say this too, like, you remember in the scriptures where it talks about Paul was like making tents for like 10 years after he had his conversion experience. And so he had this period of time where it's like, what's he doing? Like he's this amazing, radical, now he's had this conversion experience. But he's building tents? Well, that doesn't make any sense. I kind of felt like that when I was homeschooling. Like, I have a medical degree. I feel like God has gifted me in these ways. And I had to fight the tendency to go, but how I'm using them is not as important as, the doctor down the street that's still working in her job, or the teacher who actually knows what she's doing, homeschooling. I didn't really know what I was doing. I was figuring it out as I went. And I had to fight the temptation to say that that period of time wasn't purposeful or valuable. It was the most valuable. It was in that time that, and I'm sure Paul would say this someday in heaven, we'll ask him, hey, Paul, what about that 10 years that you were building tents? He's like, yeah, that's when I learned everything. That, honestly, though, that period of time that I was home with my kids, homeschooling them, gave me back this part of my childhood that I never had, being read to. It was kind of like a gift both to my children and to myself, this period of time where we could just be home and enjoy a slower pace and enjoy reading together and enjoy all of that. And it didn't look important from the outside, I'm sure, at all. As a matter of fact, lots of people said, why are you wasting your gifts? You should be blah, 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 or whatever. And my girls, as they've gotten older, they're like, Mom, why'd you homeschool us? I'm like, it was precious, okay? So you have to fight for that, for yourself. For whatever phase of life you're in, whatever you're doing, you have to fight for that for yourself. And realize that it's usually in those times when so many of the qualities that God wants to be cultivated in your heart are cultivated. Do not despise those periods of downtime, or those periods of transition, or those periods when you feel like, oh, what am I doing? This is kind of less than. And the third thing third lie that I think we all believe is that our purpose is tied up in the job we do, the kind of house we live in, our marriage, our kids. And the problem with tying it to that is that that's always changing. You have it tied up in your house. What about when your house burns down like mine did 10 years ago? You have it tied up in your marriage. What about when that falls apart? You have it tied up in your kids. What about when your kids go astray? And then you lose your way because you were tying it to something external. It's not external. There's no job, no marriage, no child that is going to do that job for you to give you meaning and purpose. And it's not fair to place it there either. That's not an outside job. That's an inside job that you have to accept that God has already given you all the meaning and purpose, and value you ever will have. And your job is to become aware of it, to cultivate it, to live as if that's all true. And something magic will happen in your heart, and you will so step into what you've been squandering, what you've been saying, oh, only she has, or what you've been saying, oh, if only I had this. No. You don't have to wait till then. No job, no marriage, no child is going to give that to you. You have to accept that that was a gift from God that He gave you, and you have to become aware of it and begin living from it. It's already there. So if you are believing one of these lies, I hope this encourages you today. I hope that you will really begin to live as if that's all true, because it is. And it will change how you show up to yourself. It will change how you show up in your life, to the people in your life. It will give you so much freedom. I wanted to let you know that I created a little freebie called What's Your Purpose? That will go over, it will go even more in depth than what we went into today. If you want to grab that, just go to lifeingraceblog.com/purpose. lifeingraceblog.com/purpose. Get that freebie. It's like a download. It's kind of like it's like called a What's Your Purpose guide, and it's got 5 things that you work through, and I think it'll be really helpful for those of you who are struggling in this area. It's really, really good. The other thing that I wanted to tell you about is I'm teaching a class tomorrow, a back to school class. I'm so excited about this class, you guys. We are living in a world full of fear, and we don't need to be, because God is still on the throne. He's still in charge. Don't need to be living in fear. I'm gonna do a class, kind of like a health class, back to school, and we're gonna talk about the immune system and sleep and focus and stress and fear, all of those things that you and your kids, and you're the mom, so you're going to take care of it, but all of those things that people are going to be struggling with as school starts back. My little Tom started Friday. I have to tell you guys the funniest thing. He got in the car. He's an old soul. He's this little boy that we're adopting. He's 7 years old. He's straight up savage, and he's an old soul. And like an Appalachian fatalist, which is the kind of people that I grew up with, so I know this brand of person well. He gets in the car. I'm like, Tom, how's school today? He's like, that was the worst day of my life. Well, turns out he had a great day. They just didn't get to go out for recess because it was raining. So that was the worst day of his life. So I am teaching a class tomorrow. If you want to attend the class, I'm not probably going to post the link publicly. Just comment here. If you want the link, just comment here. We'll send you a private message. We'll send you the link. We're going to gather in a little Zoom. It'll be on Zoom. Your face won't show, but I'll be on there teaching and just sharing some things that we've been doing as we've started back to school. Some just ideas for boosting your immune system, for not living from a place of stress and fear and all of that. So it's going to be a great class. That's tomorrow at noon Eastern. If you want the link, let us know. Savage Appalachian fatalist. Yes, he is. Oh, okay. So if you don't mind to share this video out, I so appreciate you. It's okay if you're not mom. Somebody's like, is it fine? It's totally fine. It's not just going to be about kids. We're going to have a little section in there about how to support your kids as they go back, but it's mostly a class for adults and how to keep ourselves healthy and how to keep ourselves from living in this place of fear, stress cycle. We're going to talk a lot about stress tomorrow. So, all right, you guys, I hope you have a great day. I'll see you soon. Bye.